Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an update on the health of Kentucky House Majority Floor Leader John Bam Carney. And a new proposal by members of the United Methodist Church could create a split in the denomination over differing views on same-sex marriage. Plus, the community staple in Martin County will be locking up for the last time today after more than 60 years of service.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:32 on January 6th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning on this Monday morning. If you're just going back to school or if you're just going back to work, happy Monday. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. It's a little chilly out there on this Monday morning.
And you and I were talking about this earlier. This is the first full week for a lot of folks for work, including us. So there you go. It's a rough start to the first full week of 2020. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. Temperatures, one of the big stories as we're tracking the forecast early. Close to 40 in some spots like Logan, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, and Jackson, but some spots in the upper 20s down in the Cumberland Valley, East Tennessee, Lake Cumberland. So bundle up, and you're going to see some winds out of the north and to the west this morning, and we're going to continue to see those kind of shifting more toward the west at this point. They were more toward the north earlier, but sunny skies today, 46, not too bad. But as we look ahead, it could be an interesting 36 hours. Winter mix snow possible late tonight going into Tuesday, and then we'll see a midweek break before we see some heavy rain chances come into play heading in toward the end of the week and the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, an update this morning on the health of Kentucky House Majority Floor Leader John Bam Carney. Carney's brother posted on social media yesterday that the lawmaker is improving but is still very sick. Carney got sick on December 22nd and has been in the ICU at a Louisville hospital following surgery. Carney's brother says he's still on a ventilator but has been able to communicate since Thursday by shaking his head yes and no, blinking his eyes, and moving his hands and fingers. He says the family is encouraged by Carney's progress. And Attorney General Daniel Cameron took the oath of office at midnight to start his own term as Attorney General. Cameron was sworn in on December 17th after Governor Andy Beshear appointed Cameron to complete Beshear's term as Attorney General after he became governor. Today marks the start of the term which he was elected for. And the Kentucky State Representative Charles Booker announced he is running for the U.S. Senate in 2020. Booker is hoping to unseat U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The Louisville Democrat announced on Sunday he will run for the seat. 35-year-old Booker is in his first term, and he supports ideas including the Green New Deal and Medicare for All. Booker joined 6 other Democrats in the primary, including retired combat pilot Amy McGrath. 5 Republicans have also filed to challenge McConnell, who is seeking a 7th term. And a new proposal by members of the United Methodist Church could create a split in the denomination. Leaders are considering a split over differing views on same-sex marriage and gay clergy. Olivia Russell has the details.
It's saddening, really.
LGBTQ rights have become a big topic in religion.
We've always had this contentious relationship with the church as a whole.
Now, it could create a major change in the Methodist Church. A group of bishops and church leaders signed and released a 9-page plan on Friday, which would allow churches that disapprove of gay marriage and clergy to break off from the church. It says it would, quote, allow each part of the church to remain true to its theological understanding while recognizing the dignity, equality, integrity, and respect of every person. Wanda McCants from the Pride Community Services Organization in Lexington says she's seen the split herself. In fact, she says members of the church have even offered their support for the LGBTQ community.
And that, I think, is meaningful because that's a direct dissent away from what the heads of the church are saying. And, you know, these are people who are saying these are people, too, who have, you know, every right to have a connection to faith and a conversation with God as they want to, because we all need that. We all need some type of support, in my own opinion.
While a decision from the church isn't expected until May, McCants is hopeful the change will be made.
As a whole, we hope they make the turn and they come back to what it means to see each other as all of God's children.
In Lexington, Olivia Russell, WKYT.
Now, our sister station WKYT also reached out to the Methodist churches in Lexington, and they say they are not ready to comment because church leaders have not yet made a decision. And Morehead State University has been ranked as the safest college campus in the state of Kentucky by the National Council for Home Safety and Security. The report is based off of crime rates and police adequacy. The study looks at the crime reports from local law enforcement offices and the FBI. The school says it prides itself on a police department that is staffed 24/7. They also have a shuttle service to transport students at night, and a complete list of the school ranked by safety is available at www.alarms.org/safest-colleges. And some goodie stores in eastern Kentucky are converting to Gordmans. Many of you shoppers might be taking advantage of the closing sales. And according to their website, Gordmans is hosting a job fair this week at several eastern Kentucky locations. It will take place on Tuesday, January 7th. A few locations include Harlan, Hazard, London, Paintsville, and Somerset. For a list of all locations hiring, visit gormans.com/careers. And a community staple in Martin County will be locking up for the last time today. The Inez IGA has a long history, and the building has hosted a grocery store for around 60 years. The owner told WYMT it has been experiencing financial issues for years, and the store is set to close this evening at 5. Another IGA located in Warfield will remain open for business. And Tears of Joy filled McLaughlin Air National Base in Charleston, West Virginia on Saturday as more than 100 soldiers came home from deployment in the Middle East. Soldiers of the West Virginia Army National Guard's 821st Horizontal Construction Company returned home after a 9-month deployment. While overseas, the soldiers supported several operations, and the welcome home came just hours after another group of soldiers left Charleston for the Middle East. And in Wisconsin, one retired Marine is putting his efforts into a new kind of mission with some help from his canine companion. Dakota Sharik explains what Jarhead's journey is all about.
Yeah, Jarhead's journey. I mean, it's my mission.
Tristan Retzloff will soon leave Oshkosh to travel the entire Appalachian Trail with his service dog, Zoe. But the more than 2,000-mile hike isn't just a simple trip for the retired Marine.
It's a charity that's being set up, one with the mission and the focus of trying to help be another voice for the epidemic that is veteran suicide right now. On average, there's still 22 veterans a day that are committing suicide.
Retzloff knows firsthand the difficulties many veterans face.
My struggles that I've had with my mental health and also with my physical health, I know how hard it is.
But a Jarhead's journey is also about showcasing the thing that's helped him heal, Zoe.
Sometimes I can barely get out of bed just because it's so bad. She does so many things for me, and it's done so much for my life to make things better.
He hopes the trip will also raise money for Healing for Heroes, the nonprofit that connects veterans like him to dogs like Zoe.
I really felt like I needed to do something, and I just felt like with what Zoe did for me, and I want to help other veterans get that.
Retzloff and Zoe are heading to Tennessee in 2 days to start training and plan to begin their journey in February. He's gotten some sponsorships, but they will need more gear and supplies for his journey to be a success.
If I can get even one veteran connected with a service dog and it helps change his life, that means everything to me.
To find out how you can help, visit WBAY.com. In Oshkosh, Dakota Sherrick, Action 2 News.
And the Appalachian Trail stretches through 14 states from Georgia to Maine. And in Nebraska, one veteran was reunited with his military dog after 2 years apart. Jesse Robinson and his military dog Vito worked together while being stationed in Spain. Vito spent his days as a bomb detector dog, and at just 6 years old, he has to retire early. Robinson says he has torn both his ACLs, and the doctor wouldn't clear him to work. The two were reunited through Mission Canine Rescue.
It's kind of an indescribable feeling, I guess. They become your best friend and someone you work with, someone that you trust your life to when you show up to situations. Being able to reunite with them is absolutely incredible.
Well, these two have a bond that many can't imagine, and now they get to spend the rest of their lives together. And later on Mountain News this morning, actress Lori Loughlin has reportedly hired a prison consultant to tell her what life may be like if she's convicted.
The roller coaster ride that is mountain weather continues into the first full week of January. I'll track it out for you in about 3 minutes.